Hey everyone, welcome back to Land Investing Online. Come unlock your potential freedom through land investing. Here at Land Investing Online, we teach students how to profitably buy and sell vacant land. This is the simplest, least competitive, and most profitable sector of real estate. For more information, visit landinvestingonline.com. We have a free Discord with tons of successful members in there, including Ron and myself. Come learn from the best. Please subscribe, like this video, Apple Podcast, whatever you guys are listening on. It really means a lot to Ron and I, and it drives this business forward. As always, guys, I'm Daniel Apke, not joined by my brother today. This is a solo episode, so we'll see how this goes, guys. We are probably going to be a shorter episode here, going over targeting counties and targeting repeat counties that you've already targeted before. But before we get into that, let's go over a question from today's featured member. Question is, I have a great deal from a guy who wants to sell his land to me. The issue is he is elderly and there's no way to send the purchase agreement in. He requested a new purchase agreement from me, but does not have email, fax, etc. What should I do? So guys, what he's referring to, if you guys are new here, we send out offer letters via mail. And so this guy got an offer letter, say it was 5 acres. Bob wants to sell his land, 5 acres, $50,000. Bob already signed that, filled it out. And for whatever reason, he, I guess, is elderly and he doesn't have a way to send the purchase agreement in because he doesn't have an email, fax, or anything like that. So what we do in this case, if you want to speed it up, if it's really good property, what we can do, I'm just going to walk through all of the different ways we get purchase agreements. The first and most common one is texting. Actually, I don't know if it's the most common. I think it would be, or pretty close up there. We get a ton of text. Text a picture of your purchase agreement. We want to make it as easy as them on possible. This would not apply to this guy, obviously, if he's elderly without a phone or a cell phone or texting capabilities. The next way we do is email. We get a ton of emailed purchase agreements, fax, and snail mail. Those are like the 4 we offer off the rip. So for this guy, snail mail might be the way, but I don't know if he's not driving or what his situation is. Which it brings me to the last option that it's more expensive, but it's also more effective. Mobile notaries. We have gotten mobile notaries before to go out to the seller's house and really sign that deal. They'll go knock on their door, get the purchase agreement signed, scan it back to us that same exact day. I like to do that. It speeds things up. Especially we'll do this when we negotiated with the seller and they don't feel comfortable just crossing out $50,000 and putting, $55,000 as an update. They want a whole new purchase agreement, which is very common. And they want another one mailed to them. Instead of snail mailing it to them and then snail mailing it back, you're looking at 3 weeks by that time, honestly, or maybe even more sometimes these days. You can just send it to a mobile notary, pay them $50, whatever it is, have them go out there and get it signed, scan it back to you. That's a way. That's what we do fairly often. This is probably less than 5% of our deals we do this, but this situation doesn't come up all the time. Other than that, guys, that's all I have. Let's get into the show. Targeting repeat counties, also known as remailing counties in land. So by remailing counties, what this question is, and this has been a hot topic throughout our community, but after you send a letter, say you send 2,000 to, I'm just going to use the town I'm from, Hamilton County, Ohio, which is Cincinnati. Say you sent mailers to Hamilton County, Ohio. Say you sent like 2,000 mailers out, right? I did a great job pricing. I did my work. I got some sales and PAs. Really profitable things, sold fast, and you made good money there. And you're like, wow, I want to make some more good money. I already have a realtor there, all that good stuff. So what you can do, guys, is send the same exact offer. Well, not the same exact. You can send an offer again to them, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months later. Use the same data that you guys already have. Look at your guys' old pricing, adjust it accordingly. Ron can give more insight on that into how he adjusts the pricing. But if you guys sold, that's the thing. You have to use the data that you guys came up with. So say, again, going back to 5 acres for $50,000. Say we bought 5 acres for $50,000. We listed it for $120,000, and it ended up selling for $120,000 in a week. It got under contract in a week, let's say. Now you can go and say, wow, 5 acres there is going to sell in a week for $120,000. You're using your data points that you have from your personal situation right? That's the most powerful data point there is. You know exactly how the market's working. You got all the inbound leads on the selling side and the for sale side. You went through the whole process with it. You have the connections. So now you go back and you're like, okay, instead of offering $50,000, I'd be fine. You know, there's low risk. I have a whitetail property realtor there working for me. He's incredible. He's going to all the properties for me. I don't need to buy for 50 and sell for 120. I'll buy for 60,000 or 55,000 or 65,000, whatever you guys feel comfortable with. Really depends. You don't always need to up your pricing either to get more deals. You definitely do not. But then you can go and you can remail that same county at possibly a more aggressive price than you originally did. So now you go and you buy for 60,000 instead of 50, and you still sell for $125,000. Maybe it's months later, so you sell for a little more with appreciation and whatnot. You know, it's a really good idea to remail counties. It's easy on you guys. That's the main reason. Let's get into some of the advantages and disadvantages, actually. And there's really not any disadvantages besides it costs money, right? But you'll get new deals, and that's why this business is so sustainable, because you'll remail a county and get deals that you didn't get from 3 months before. And we talk about that all the time. It's a timing game, guys. It's all about when they open that envelope, when did they need the money, you never know. Like, people's life changed in 3 months. Maybe some of them didn't even open your first letter. Who knows the situation? It happens, and it works, and it's sustainable. So what are some advantages? 1, you'll get new deals. 2, it saves time. You guys don't need to price. You guys know the pricing now. So you don't need to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours or whatever you guys are spending on pricing, right? So it saves a ton of time in that way. You still have the data, which saves you money as well. And then the biggest thing, I mean, for me, is the county relationships. You have a title company. You have a realtor in the area if you used a realtor. You just have those connections. You have the connection at the county zoning, planning and zoning. You talk to Jim Bob 20 times or whatever. You have his cell phone by now. All those relationships you're building stay there now. So it makes the job so much easier. And I'll give you guys a story, and I've talked about this a lot. We've remailed a lot of counties, especially in the last 6 to 8 months, I feel like. But we mailed a county, and we have a whole podcast on this of how we made $500,000 from one county or something like that. And I don't remember exact numbers, so this could be off a little bit, guys. But we mailed a county. We got 12 deals back. We made a ton of money, turned those quick. We remailed it a few months later and got like 5 more properties. I don't even know if we really adjusted the price. We said I think we said something like we changed the wording of the letter a little bit, and we have that in the course, and we can talk more details in the course about that. But we changed the wording of our purchase agreement a little bit, like second time offer, you know, and say some things like that. But that's when I would really consider doing it, is when you just saw the success you had when you first mailed that county. Maybe it wasn't even a crazy amount of success. It doesn't need to be 12 deals. That was very rare. Maybe you got 2 good deals there. They sold quick and you really liked your realtor, and your realtor says he can sell the heck out of any property you bring him. So that could be a situation. It just saves so much time and energy and your expertise. Ron and I talk about niching down into certain markets. Like, that is a way you can just dominate a market. And then you'll start getting referrals. Like, Ron and I, our business has gotten several referrals the last 4 or 5 months, it seems like, because Nancy, who we bought her land, and the process went really smooth. Nancy went to her cousin Robert, and Robert wants to sell his 30 acres down the road, and we know exactly what that's going to sell for because we've been working there. And we sold Nancy's for $150,000, and we know we're going to sell Bob's for $150,000 because it's an identical piece of property in the same area pretty much. So we can offer him whatever. Like, we know we have that power. They don't know what it's really worth. We know exactly what it's worth. So is there any risk doing it? So one of the risks, if you go like a couple years in Remail County, that's completely different. The data may be a little different. I think Ron said on a coaching call today, you can use that data for up to 12 months or so. The data will stay good to remail. So save all your data, save all your pricing. You do need to look at appreciation though. If you mail a hot county a year ago and you're remailing it today, that pricing is going to be different. So you have to adjust pricing accordingly. That's the risk. You do have to do a little bit of work. And then obviously there's mail money. So you're going to be spending more money. There's risk in this business. You send out mail. It costs whatever, 60 cents or whatever the price is right now. of sending that. That's the main risk to me. In terms of deals, like you might even, I've heard stories about people yielding more their second time they sent it than their first time. Like you might yield more. I don't know. And I'm curious to see all your guys' results with this, but our members at Land Investing Online has seen tremendous results with remailing, and we strongly advise in favor of it. It's just going to save you so much headache and hassle. But yeah, overall, definitely if you guys are not remailing and remarketing counties, it's a great time to start. Pick a county that you did really well in and things. I would think of what county did you get multiple deals in? This is how I would start if you want to remail. What counties did you get multiple deals in? What counties did the deals go the smoothest in terms of like working with the county and a realtor in that area? And what county did the properties sell the quickest in? And you take those three things and see if you can line up a county. If it sold quick, sold over asking or at asking price, or just really quick, you have a good realtor there, you have good county relationships there, and it was just easy to do business there. Pick that county, remail it, change up your offer letter a little bit. We're gonna talk more and more about this going forward because there's a huge demand for remailing counties. But yeah, just pick your best county. Pretty much those three things will give you your best county, and just try remailing that. I hope that helps. If you guys aren't remailing and you guys are actively buying and selling land across the U.S., start remailing. Adjust your offer letter, adjust your pricing a little bit, test things out. This is just a really big topic, marketing in general right now, between emails and texting and all the other things people are starting to do in this business. And people ask me all the time, like they're scared because mail is so expensive. But I've said this 100 times in the last 2 weeks, I think. For every 60 cents we spend, so if mail costs 60 cents, we get $5 of profit back. So that's almost 20x profit. That's not sales, that's profit. So we're making $5 per every 60 cents we spend, which is incredible. So for, that would be $10,000. If we're making $5,000 per every mailer, that's probably $11,000 of sales, right? So it's just the returns right now on mailing are still very, very solid. There are other ways to acquire properties with cold calling and texting and email marketing and all that stuff. I would highly recommend looking into that a little bit. But right now in this state of the market, what's working for us is really just mailing counties and mailing the heck out of counties. And you can get fancy, and there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. And one other thing that I've heard lately as well was, so when remailing a county, someone that we work with actually uses, and this is actually really cool, they use handwritten envelopes. So there's companies out there that will handwrite the envelopes, not like the actual machine type of font looking thing on envelopes that you see that looks like scams. That may work, whatever. I'm not dissing that. I don't know that much about that, but this is actually handwritten letters, and they cost more, of course. They might cost $1.20 versus, your 60 cents. But if you had that much success in a county and you're going to have more success, that open rate, like if that open rate doubles or triples because of that, or maybe even quadruples, and that's the thing, we don't have all the data on mail. You can't really collect it. There's no way to, because you don't know who's opening it and not. Pretty much, there's no way to track that. You can only track responses. But yeah, so that's another thing. Like when remailing and remarketing counties, you don't only need to send mail. Like you can get creative with it. You can send text. You can, and we're gonna have more and more on this in the future as well. You can text, you can email, and you can use different fonts and letters and things like that to get different people's attention that you didn't get the first time. And that's the whole idea of it. Instead of doing the same exact thing and sending it to the same people, which still works, and that's what this show is about, you can hit different people because now, one person who didn't open the first envelope, the double pane envelope, might open the handwritten envelope, or might open that text message, or might open that email. So that's all I have today. It's been 14 minutes of me just talking on and on. I hope you guys got some sort of value out of that. If you're not remailing and remarketing counties, start now with your good counties. Other than that, thank you guys for joining. Ron will be with us next episode, so I don't just need to listen to myself talk the whole time. To get started and to unlock your guys' potential freedom, visit landinvestingonline.com. Join our free Discord where Ryan and I Ron and I are involved. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you guys are listening on. It really means the world to Ron and I, and we'll see you guys next episode. Thank you guys for joining.